What are macronutrients and are they important? What is lazy keto and is it effective? I put out some posts on social media recently just to ask people what they found more effective. The answer was a little surprising. Not that people chose one over the other, but there's a lot of people who don't know the difference between lazy and dirty keto. I get it, there are a lot of variations of the keto diet, from clean to dirty, to targeted, to cyclical, to high protein. I can see how people get confused. I counted at least 11 variations the other day. Future video alert, we just may go through a list of all the different variations of keto to find out which one is best for you. But back to the question at hand. Should you track your macros daily or take a more relaxed approach? Like a lot of things, the answer is not black and white, right or wrong. It's going to depend on your goals for eating a keto lifestyle. I'll tell you about my experience with both versions. The truth is, everyone is different, and my experience may differ from yours. To start, let's truly understand what macronutrients are and what they mean to the keto diet. It's science time! All joking aside, it is really important to understand the science behind all this keto stuff. We all know what calories are, a measurement of the energy that the food we eat will give our bodies. Macronutrients go a step deeper to tell us where those calories come from, be it protein, carbohydrates, or fat. The ratio of those different energy sources are important to tell our bodies what its primary fuel source should be. Here's what we need to know. If your body can use carbohydrates for energy, it will use carbohydrates for energy, period. Why? Because it is very easy for your body to take the carbohydrates that you eat and quickly turn it into energy for your cells. Carbohydrates are pretty much ready-made energy as soon as they enter your body. To turn fat into energy takes more effort from your bodies, so carbohydrates are the path of least resistance. That is where macronutrient ratios come into play, placing our bodies in a zone where carbohydrates are not providing enough energy, so it must start using ketones for energy. Keeping our carbs at 5 to 10% of the calories we consume, and then moderate protein at 10 to 30%, and then fat being the rest, becoming our primary fuel source. At that point, your liver will have to go into production mode to start producing ketones to fuel your body. That is the whole idea behind tracking our macros daily. If we are monitoring everything we consume, then we know if we're staying in that golden range to keep our body in a sustained state of ketosis. Let's be honest, tracking macros can be a pain. I know, needing to weigh or measure your food so you know exactly how much of what you are consuming sounds like a lot of work. Entering every single thing you eat into an app or a food journal seems like it could be time consuming. Why can't I just limit my carb intake and call it good? Well, that is the whole idea behind Lazy Keto. Just limit your net carbs to between 20 and 50 daily and reap all the benefits. However, can it really be that easy? In a word, maybe, depending on your circumstances. My experiences with Lazy Keto are mixed at best. However, these are just my experiences and others may have a completely different experience. When I was first introduced to the idea of the keto diet, it was just explained to me that I need to keep my net carbs under 20 grams per day and I would be golden. So of course, that is exactly what I did. Initially, I lost some weight and I was very excited. Then I started to plateau and my weight loss started to slow down. I wasn't gaining weight, but I wasn't losing like I was before. That is when we discovered this whole idea behind macros, and reluctantly, I started tracking everything I ate. Seriously, I was having flashbacks to when I was logging everything I ate in MyFitnessPal when I did extreme low-calorie dieting. However, as soon as I started tracking my macros, the weight loss started again. This wasn't my only experience with Lazy Keto. There have been a few periods over the last few years where I have given it a shot and decided to stop tracking my macros completely. AKA, I got lazy. Every time this has happened, it has never resulted in significant weight loss. But I don't gain weight either. There was even a point where I decided that I would track my macros throughout the week, but be more relaxed on the weekends. But even this impacted my weight loss. That is when I really started to analyze what was happening and doing some research to find some answers. What I discovered was that when I track my macros, I put a lot more scrutiny in what I do and do not consume. It's a lot easier for me to say no to something when I see how it impacts my macros. Kind of like how it's easier to make financial decisions when you're using cash versus a credit card. When you see that cash disappearing, it's a whole lot easier to say no to something you don't really need. Another discovery is that I'm a lot more apt to grab a snack between meals when I'm not tracking. I'll do a future video on the trouble with snacking on the keto diet, or any diet for that matter. When I'm tracking, I usually keep it to 2 meals a day so I can make the most of those meals. The problem being when I'm not tracking, I still make the most of those meals. Another aspect of this, in my experience, is that even on Lazy Keto, you're still supposed to keep track of how many net carbs you're consuming in a day. However, I tend to take full advantage of the lazy part And I don't do a good job of that either. This means there's a good chance I was eating too many carbohydrates. So instead of staying in a sustained state of ketosis, my body was more than likely cycling in and out of keto, and it was having to use up its glycogen stores before going back to producing ketones. You can check out episode 6 for more information on that. Another possibility is I was consuming too much protein. While there's no research that I can find that says protein can kick you out of ketosis, for some, higher amounts of protein can lead to insulin spikes that temporarily inhibit ketone production. This seems to be related to how sensitive your body and your cells are to insulin. Those who have insulin resistance may have higher spikes in insulin when consuming larger amounts of protein. So this would not impact everyone, but may be problematic for some. But the biggest thing for me, more than likely, is I was consuming too many calories. Since I was not tracking, I had no idea how many calories I was consuming. While calories in versus calories out is not an exact science, it is true the more calories you consume, the more likely impact you'll see to your weight loss. This can be a problem for those who are like me and really enjoy eating. So back to our initial question, is lazy keto effective? Well, it depends on what your goals are. For me, it hasn't proven to be, but the results may be different for you. Look, I may just be a person that needs structure to be successful. If your main goal is weight loss, the next question is, how quickly do you want to lose weight? If you're okay with a slow weight loss over a long period of time, then lazy keto might be perfect for you. If your weight loss stalls, then you might consider tracking your macros, at least for a short time, to break through a plateau and get back to losing. Now, if you need to lose weight quickly, one of those I have 2 weeks to fit into this outfit kind of scenarios, I would highly recommend tracking your macros so you can reach your goal, or at least get as close as possible. Maybe your goals aren't weight loss related. Maybe you're just eating a keto lifestyle for some of the health benefits. In that case, lazy keto might be perfect for you. Just keep in mind, most of those benefits are dependent on your body being in ketosis. So if you're constantly cycling in and out, you may not be getting the most of those benefits. If you are on lazy keto, it is a good idea to track your ketones to ensure that you're staying in ketosis. This can be done through urine strips and a blood meter. Just keep in mind that if you're using urine strips, those can become less effective over time as your body gets better at utilizing ketones. Hey, before we wrap up today, make sure you hit the subscribe button in the lower right-hand corner and the notification bell so you don't miss any future videos. We've got new videos coming out weekly to help you live your best keto life. At the end of the day, for me, it's just easier to track my macros daily. In my mind, if I'm tracking my net carbs, I might as well just go all in, and I have significantly more success that way. Saying all that, there are days where tracking my macros is just not possible. When we're traveling, when we're eating out, it makes it very difficult, so I generally will not track. So how do I track my macros in the most pain-free way possible? There are so many apps out there that make this as pain-free as possible. They have huge food databases, lists of popular restaurants, and even barcode scanners so you can scan things directly into your daily food log. Some of the most popular ones are KetoCycle, LifeSum, Carb Manager, and Keto. I personally use an app called Chronometer. I'm pretty sure one of those pronunciations is right. So what are your thoughts on lazy keto? Have you had success with it? Let me know in the comments below.